Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Wednesday, November 21st, 2018 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi and our energy mantra for this last day of Scorpio is, I am aware of my power. And today, in this final day of Sun in Scorpio, we have an interesting connection. So we have an inconjunct. And this inconjunct is between the Sun and Scorpio. So Sun and Scorpio, we've been working on root chakra stuff. We've been working on knowing our power, really tuning into what real power is versus any of those disempowering or victim places we can be in. And then we have Uranus in Aries. Aries and Scorpio are ruled by that Mars energy. So they have different vibrations of this power. Uranus in Aries can definitely bring up those places within us that have felt suppressed. Uranus is like, there is nothing you can suppress. So Uranus of it, isn't it? There's nothing that can be suppressed. The farts must come out, basically. So we're in this energy of power, not seeing eye to eye with this other energy of power. And so I want you to look at today in this energy, and especially in any discomfort that you feel. What have you learned about your power? The interesting thing about these connections, they're at 29 degrees. 29, 2 plus 9 added up is 11. It is master number energy. And so we really do need to come into this understanding and new vision, awareness, like the energy mantra, of our power. Because if not, we're going to have little volcanic eruptions coming up where we feel powerless. The truth is we never really are powerless. Now, there are situations that we can get ourselves in that do not feel good, that we do not like, that we do not want to be in, and yet it does not make us powerless. And so it's up to us to know ourselves and to know our power so that we can be a master of our energy field. And alchemize, that's one of the works of Scorpio, the transformation alchemy. I really feel like the final few degrees of Scorpio, especially leading into Sagittarius, really is a place of alchemy. To alchemize whatever the situation is by finding our sense of power in it. So that is your work today. Just realize that inconjunct, it's like badly fitting shoes, and it can rub you the wrong way. Now, I meant to mention, I could not show up yesterday because Mercury retrograde is like freaking havoc on my technology right now. It is crazy. My phone is doing insane things, and as is everything else, so I apologize for that. Hopefully this will work today. But I mentioned how Chiron was connecting with the Sun. We also have, I wrote up a little thing. I don't know if you saw it. It's always good to follow my Facebook page because, or the Facebook page on Gaia Blooming, because I will always try to keep up with posts there, even if other things are falling apart, like technology. But I mentioned how the Sun was connecting to Chiron and old wounds were being brought up. The North Node is also connecting into these energies. The North Node is at 28. So Chiron and the North Node are at 28. And then Scorpio, Sun in Scorpio is 29. So this is a grand trine in water. And so emotional things are coming up, destined to come up, be tied with a bow, and released at this time. So be very aware what situations are coming up for you. Where can you stand in your power in these situations? Where can you be true to yourself? That's part of the Uranus and Aries energy. It wants you to be true to yourself. It wants you to be true to your soul. Sometimes we can be true to our ego, but this is important, to be true to your soul. So again, if feeling things come up, I highly recommend that you feel your way through whatever needs to be felt through. The other reason for this is because even though it's like, hey, we're done with Scorpio, well, we're not really quite done with Scorpio because Mercury and Venus are coming back to Scorpio in December. Woohoo! So, I have a peanut gallery. Anyway, so we do want to get very firm in our Scorpio lessons of empowerment now, so we're ready when these planets come through and it's not like another round of Scorpio going through. Besides that, we have the moon in Taurus. And again, in the write-up, I mentioned there may be some production stuff coming up. The moon in Taurus really does want to be able to be like the cat. Look at me, I'm pretty, pet me, sensual lifestyle, feed me, bathe me, some cats, pamper me, brush me. Taurus has that desire on one end. And on the other end, there's the desire like, I have to work and look at my productivity. And where we want to end up is somewhere in the middle of both of those energies. The moon connecting to Saturn today is definitely bringing out the production side. But what I want you to be aware of, especially with the power stuff, is your worth is not dependent on what you produce. Your worth is not dependent on your productivity level. Your worth is because you are. And that, again, is part of the overall Saturn lessons of connecting to our soul, because there's times when we are, connecting to our soul that we have to be in that receptivity mood. And it helps us to get into that receptive place to ultimately be productive. Being that I have just the last couple of weeks implemented, I take a day off from the scopes and doing work, which is amazing for me because I work because I love it. It has helped me so much want to show up daily and made it easier. So we all need that time of receptivity, and it does not change your worth. So learn that lesson from me. Moon in Taurus is also going to be connecting to Neptune. I again come back to this receptivity card because Neptune brings in those psychic inclinations. We're in the last few days of Neptune retrograde. So again, along with old karmic stuff coming up to be tied with a bow right now between the North Node energy connecting with these things, it's like destined. But the North Node, or Neptune also finishing up its retrograde process, also brings that. What I feel with this connection between the moon and Neptune, I just had a song pop into my head, but I have no idea how it correlates, but I'll have to see if it keeps processing. Moon and Neptune, your productivity can be positively influenced by taking the time to connect in with a higher vision. I really feel like this goes in with the the Rumi card that I have as well. So I'm going to get into that in just a second. One last thing with these cards, change is upon us. On Thursday at 1 a.m., we are shifting into Sagittarius. It is up next. Sagittarius season is always a very different season, especially with the Sun and Jupiter hanging out in Sagittarius. We are destined for some playtime, but you must get these Scorpio lessons as a good foundation for the Sagittarius coming in, for the maturity that we need. So really work with that energy, work with your power, knowing your power through today. Let's dig into the Rumi card. The Rumi card is the all-encompassing hand. You are the essence of my existence. Who am I? A mirror in your hand. Whatever you do, I will do. I am your irresistible reflection. With every breath I feel, my heart is beating with yours. In your joy, I am exuberant. In your sadness, I am in sorrow. If you are bitter, I become bitter. If you are grace, I become grace. My joy is when I am bewildered in your beauty and taste the sweetness of love on your lips. If I pick a rose without you, it becomes a thorn in my hand. If I am the thorn, I become the rose in your hand. Perhaps you're in reassurance, dearest one. Perhaps you've been feeling somewhat alone on your path or struggling with a matter deep within your precious, beautiful heart and speaking of it to no one. Such loneliness that can foster in the heart. With no one to hear witness of your life experience, you may question your life, your sanity, your truths, and create doubt where no doubt needs to be. This must stop for now. You are worthy of so much more. This suffering is not essential for your growth now, and it is time to let it be, to open up the touch of grace. This oracle comes to you as the hand of the divine. It is the all-encompassing hand, the hand that has no limitation upon blessings it can bestow, and upon the troubles that it can lift from you, upon the tenderness it can communicate to you through sacred touch. Allow the divine hand to reach for you, beloved, and do not turn away. This oracle comes with a particular message for you. There may be a situation or a circumstance in your life that you feel is somehow unable to be solved. This oracle comes with the reassurance that there is nothing beyond the reach of the divine hand of grace, and all can be solved, all can be resolved. There's always a higher, better, more beautiful outcome possible. You're being asked to pray, meditate, using the sacred honoring ritual, and to do so with conviction. The divine has a solution in hand, and all is unfolding as it should be. Ask for help each day, saying, I ask for help this day in all ways through unconditional love, thank you. You can be more specific in your request, asking for help in a particular relationship or project if you wish. The divine wants to lend you a hand. You must ask for help first, so ask. Empower that all-powerful hand of grace to bless your life in all circumstances, relationships, and situations that have been or are yet to be there for you. And like I said, that Moon-Neptune connection, it is about connecting to spirit, and let spirit help you work your way through your earthly experience, your production experience, and also your worth experience. So the sacred honoring ritual is place one hand resting upon the other with palms joined together. Say aloud, through the loving grace of Rumi, brother of my soul who loves me without condition, these hands are now blessed as the hands of the lover and the beloved. As the one divine hand, all-encompassing, I am blessed, protected, nurtured, and received. I am touched by the divine with compassionate mercy and loving tenderness. I call upon the hand of grace to touch, heal, bless, and protect all aspects of myself and my life journey. Through divine grace, so be it. And simply rest with your hands in the same position or same posture for several moments and finish your ritual. If you wish, you may continue by speaking in prayer to the divine and offer up any issue or concern you have. Give it a voice. It doesn't matter how small or major the issue may seem. Talk it over with the great beloved, a wonderful and responsive listener. When you are finished, place your hands in prayer, bow your head, and simply say thank you. And you have completed your sacred honoring ritual. So, that is it. Connect to spirit to help you move through any of these energies that may be coming up. There is always a higher solution available, and you can tune into it. Besides that, I'm offering now officially the year ahead reading 2019. Woo! 2019 is going to have much shift as well as 3 different eclipse seasons. The first one starting in January. Okay, so wow, this is going to be a lot. It's definitely a year where the temperature is being turned up a little bit more. So, you know, while in some ways I feel like it'll be mellower than 2019, the heat isn't mellow. You know, it's definitely cooking us into something. Hard-boiled egg or, you know, potato. How are we going to face this? Teabag? Who knows? Anyways, I'm doing the reading with Joe. I just had an email before this where she was like, good God, he's good. And I would say the same thing. He's very tuned in. So if you'd like that, email me, mimiclark@gmail.com. I will be setting those up for December. But get them now. Get yourself in line. And besides that, the better it gets, the better it gets. There is enough love in the world for you. And you have the power. Be aware of that. Namaste.